Welcome to Homegrown Florida. When I first started my garden, I had daydreams of huge, big tomato harvests. Heavy green plants with big ripe red tomatoes, so heavy they weighed the whole plant down. Reality was very different, and it took me many years to be able to consistently grow tomatoes from seeds. And I want to share with you how I did it to save you some frustration and time. Here in Florida, where I live, it is very hot and humid, but we still get some frost and cold weather for a few days around December to February. So our growing season here is very interesting. We can't grow them during the winter because the frost will kill them, and we can't grow them during the summer because they'll be overcome with fungal issues. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible to grow tomatoes during the summer here, but it is incredibly hard, and once it gets above 90 degrees, the flowers on the plants drop so that they can't get fertilized. But we can grow tomatoes during spring and fall. Because of the high degree of humidity here, we really want to grow your tomatoes as fast as possible, for as long as possible before they succumb to powdery mildew or blight, which will happen eventually. There are lots of varieties that have protections against these diseases, but it will just hold them off. So you want to pick varieties that have these disease resistance, but also kinds that grow and ripen very quickly. One of the most popular tomatoes in Florida is the Everglade tomato because it really thrives in the heat and humidity that we have as conditions here. And the flowers will still set in high heat. One reason why so many people grow the cherry and grape varieties are because they do grow fast and they ripen very quickly. But there are varieties that are bigger that you can have success with. Some of the ones I like are the Florade, Heatmaster, Neptune, Brandywine, and then Mortgage Lifter. Another challenge you will likely encounter when growing tomatoes is starting them from seed. In these conditions, it's very easy for young seedlings to succumb to fungal issues and the heat. So I have found that by starting them indoors, they get nice and strong. This gives them a leg up when it comes time to move them outside. Now you can start seedlings indoors with lights, heat mats, and fans. But one of the easiest tricks I learned when starting tomatoes indoors is to use the Aerogarden. So let's jump right into it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one. This is the 6-pod hydroponic Aerogarden. I'll add a link in the description below for this system and the Grow Anything kit. If you don't have one of these, it has its own lighting system that comes on automatically and these indicators that tell you if it needs water or plant food. I usually use my Aerogarden to grow lettuce during the summer since it can't grow outside. But I always take a pause to start my tomato seedlings. I find that the 6-pod system is perfect for my household. This way I can pick the varieties that work for my area. I usually start with 2 small varieties and 4 large tomato varieties. They only take 2 or 3 weeks to germinate and get to this size in the Aerogarden. The amazing thing about it is that I basically ignore this thing and it does it all for me. It kind of feels like cheating. Now the trick to using these to start tomato seeds is that you don't want to stay in here too much longer than what I have right here. So let's take these apart and get them potted up. Once I've removed them from the Aerogarden, I'm going to put them in these 5-inch pots since I want to bury them pretty deep. Tomatoes are one of the few plants that you do need to bury the stem. Since I have to bury the sponge from the Grow Anything kit, I do need a larger size pot so that I can pot them up. Now let's get them in the dirt. Now we have all our seedlings in the pots. I'll give them a good watering and put them inside my screened patio. I usually try to do this later in the day so that the plants have a few hours to adjust before they have to start dealing with the heat here in August. For the first 2 days, I'll leave them in a shady spot just to give them a little time to adjust. I have been starting my tomatoes from seeds just like this for many years, and I have never had a problem. In fact, I have tested whether the plants from the Aerogarden would do better than seedlings in the ground. And it did prove that these guys were much stronger, they fought off the blight longer and the bugs, and they produced a higher yield than the ones I started in trays outdoors. So if you have one of these Aerogarden systems, definitely give it a try. If you don't have one of these systems, I really encourage you that if you want to grow tomato seedlings with basically zero effort, this is the way to go. Give it a shot and let me know how it turns out down in the comment section below.